Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahawashi Bahashem Kahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wahagwa. And what I wanted to get into in this lesson is, I heard a brother say it a long time ago, sometimes it's better to take the low, because in this world, man, you're going to have demons that's going to hop on people, and they're going to be little irritants. Misery love company, man. And not to say our lives are always peaches and creams, but, what brings joy to our life is knowing that this ain't the end all be all, and we're expecting something far, far better. All right, excuse me. And these people out here, they don't have nothing, to look forward to. It's kind of like a child, I don't want this to be distasteful because we don't, celebrate these pagan holidays, but we sort of like children waiting on Christmas Day, man. You know how it was back in the day. You was a kid, you couldn't wait to open your presents. Well, that's us akin to waiting on the kingdom of heaven, man. You can't sleep. When you was little, you couldn't sleep. All you was thinking about was waking up, busting over your gifts, wondering what you got. That's akin. That's how we is, But through much tribulation shall we enter the kingdom, as the scriptures say. Okay? And one of those tribulations, these demons, they know who the elect are. They know who got that light, man. It's like a moth to a flame. And a lot of times, again, demons will hop on people to get at you. These petty ass niggas, man. I'm just gonna say it, So I've been dealing with this for, for some time, just demons hopping on people trying to get at me, man. And, again, this is about taking a low, even when you're in a position where you might could, do something, you just take the low. And where did I get that from? I got it from Yahawashi. Now, I want to start off here in 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 14. It says, "Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men." Right. And this teaches you patience. Coming into this knowledge, reading these scriptures and applying them is going to teach you patience. You're going to have to learn patience because you're going to have to be patient with these petty ass people out here. And excuse my language, but that's just how it is. You're going to have to be petty with them, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, a stranger, whoever. You got to learn patience, because if not, you will spaz out. And that's just not the way to do. Now, disclaimer, if you have to defend yourself, we all should know. Somebody coming up against you trying to harm you, hey, you got to knock somebody out. You got to defend yourself by all means. You got to defend yourself. But, somebody could do something that irritates you, be petty, and you could want to put hands on them for real. But that's where that patience got to kick in, these scriptures, and taking a low and just saying, you know what, I'm going to turn the other cheek. Verse 15, "See that none render evil for evil." Matter of fact, let me read this in the NLT. See that, 1 Thessalonians 5:15, NLT. "See that no one pays back evil for evil." See, I always remember from the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, right? 50 Cent movie. My man, he was like, when they was having that meeting, he was like, "Violence only begets violence." I forgot my man's name. He older black dude with the bald head. He played in a couple of pictures. He played in a lot of stuff, but I forget his name. But he said, "Violence only begets violence." And that's true. That's why, even let's take gang culture. It'll be one dude kills one dude on the other side, and they just keep going back and forth. because violence only beget violence, man. So if somebody do something petty, then you do something petty, then they gonna do something petty, and it's just gonna keep going back and forth. And guess what? We've come into this thing to shed that old man and to realize that we highborn, man. I always hear the brother out in Mississippi say we highborn. The elders Zahab. He always be like, man, we the highborn. You know what I'm saying? We gotta act accordingly. Aristocrats. You notice like people that's of in the aristocracy, people of in high places, they're not really gonna stoop to a level of pettiness with somebody under them. Now, will they defend themselves? Yeah. And when they do strike, it's a striking blow. Meaning, if they do focus their attention on to what's being irritating them and being petty, they gonna strike and strike to kill. Okay? Now, am I telling you to, let's not be simple. Am I telling you to kill somebody? No, man. But what I'm saying is they will deliver a dangerous blow. They think tactically. You know, that's why the Lord said what? Be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves, man. And that's the condition of the battle. Learning to be harmless as a dove, because before we came into this thing, somebody irritated us, we can just punch them in the face. But now, we learning not to do those things, you know? It says, see that no one pays back evil for evil, but always try to do good to each other and to all people. And this was Paul's epistles to the church of Thessalonica, okay? Telling them, you know, hey, don't, that petty stuff, somebody do something petty, sometimes you got to brush it off, man. It's better to just take the low. And we got to learn that. And that's why I want to go here to Hebrews 12 and verse 2. What does it say? It says, let me see. I'm going to start at 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race the Most High has set before us. Right. This is a marathon, man. This is not a sprint. All right, so we is going to have pitfalls, and we do got to learn these things, but nonetheless, we got to keep going. All right, it's going to be things placed in front of us to trip us up by Satan, ultimately the Most High. But Apostle Gabar said yesterday in the lesson that what? The elect, which we are the hopeful elect, they going to sidestep it. You see what I'm saying? So when the demon hop on a petty ass nigga and he do something petty, you sidestep it, man. Long as it ain't really endangering you or nothing like that, it just might be a little irritating. You just got to brush it off. Verse 2, we do this by keeping our eyes on Yahawashi. And I'm learning and I'm trying to be better, you know, by Yahawashi. And I'm going to get into it. The champion, Yahawashi is a champion, man, who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross. So Yahawashi endured, you know what I'm saying, a lot. It was his mission, but he had the power to destroy petty people. The petty scribes and Pharisees that was always in his face. All the stuff that wasn't in the scriptures that he had to endure. Even down to what happened on the cross. Okay? He had the mission because he knew the mission was for us. He put the nation on his back. You know, and ultimately it was the Heavenly Father giving him the Spirit, and he already knew it was coming from the Heavenly Father, so he didn't want to move in a opposite direction. But Yahawashi, you know, he had to take the low. Whereas he could have just destroyed anybody on the planet, man. He could have destroyed anybody. All them scribes, and he could have just snapped his fingers and they was out of here. But what happened? Because of the joy, and this is what we got to remember. These people don't have that same joy we got. They get joy out of clubbing, getting the bag, You know, some people get joy out of being petty. Being petty, irritating you. Uh, they get joy out of many different things on the planet Earth, right? But we get joy out of knowing we got a kingdom coming, man. Brothers get joy out of teaching. Sisters, I'm pretty sure you get joy out of listening to videos and it refresh your spirit just like brothers do. All right, but ultimately all of us, we get joy out of knowing that one day this is going to be over with and we're going to be a holy and righteous people, man, in our glory. So because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding his shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside the Most High's throne, right? So Yahawashi knew the mission, man. That's why all them petty ass niggas who was doing stuff to him all the way to the cross, he just brushed it off, man, because he knew, look, man, I'm from above, you from below, and I'm going to get that, Lord willing. Now let's go here to Matthew, because, it's got to be noted. All these things we got to know. We got to remember what Yahawashi endured, even though we don't even get the full essence of it, because when you read something, it's different to when you see it in real time. Matthew 26:52, right? It says, now, this is when they was coming to get Yahawashi. All right? And Peter, what'd he do? He took up the sword. So getting to the point, then Yahawashi said unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Right, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Violence only beget violence. Petty only beget petty. All right, so again, when you're dealing with these people outside in this world, and they do something petty, then you do something, then they gonna do something, then you're gonna be in a back and forth with a petty ass person who you supposed to rise above. You supposed to be the bigger person. And this is something we got to learn. And this is the condition of the battle, man. Taking the low. Yahawashi did it. See? Verse 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? So think about that. All right? Thousands of angels Yahawashi could have just called for thousands of angels. And he don't even need that. He could have had one, or he could have did it himself. But the point is that Yahawashi had all that power, and these mere mortals was coming against him, being petty. All right. Thinking they was, all powerful and mighty. And Yahawashi, he had to take that. You know what I'm saying? This is what he did for us. You see what I'm saying? Think about that, man. Think about that. Okay? That's like I said this in another lesson. That's like a trillionaire in layman's terms. That's like a trillionaire, moving to the hood. And when he moved to the hood, he got to catch the bus. He working at KFC. It's an experiment. And meanwhile, he getting disrespected, Jake stunting on him, Eve dissing him. But he a trillionaire, and they don't know it, But he, Yahawashi took that low, man, for us. He endured that cross, And he had to deal with petty people, man, just like we got to deal with it. So it ain't nothing that we going through that Yahawashi didn't go through. Let me jump down to verse 66. It says, now this is when they had Yahawashi. All right, I'm just kind of getting to the point. It says, then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, he is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, striking him. And others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, prophesy unto us, thou Mashiach, who is he that smote thee. All right, so they was mocking him. This is what he had to go through. Let's go to Mark. Let me get that in Mark. Mark 14, I'm starting at verse 60. Think about somebody spit on you in real life, man. That's one of the most disrespectful things somebody can do. Mark 14 and 60. And the high priest stood up in the midst and asked Yahawashi, saying, answers thou nothing? What is these things? What is it which these witness against thee? But he held his peace. Yahawashi stood strong, like they say in the world. He stood on business. He pleaded the fifth, and he answered nothing. Again, the high priest asked him and said unto him, art thou the anointed, the son of the blessed? And Yahawashi said, I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right. Yahawashi, he already knew, man, I'm above y'all petty niggas, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. See, Yahawashi, he wasn't playing, dog. Wait, bear with me 1 second. See, Yahawashi, he already knew what time it was. Like, man, I'm above y'all petty ass niggas, man. Let me get that in John chapter 8, 23. It tells you what. And he said unto him, ye are from beneath, I am from above. Ye are of this world, I am not of this world. Yahawashi already knew, look, I got a kingdom. I'm a God. I'm a Lord. I'm the King of Kings. You little niggas petty. You niggas just worship. You gotta, what do they call it? Oh man, I forgot. Where it's a kingdom in a kingdom. See, them wicked scribes and Pharisees and all of they, them petty niggas, they ain't had no true power. Cause they was in the Romans had the real power. The Romans let them have their power. The last little string of power they had was afflicting our people with the law, meaning they was abusing it. They wasn't using it righteously. They was abusing it. That's why Yahawashi was calling them hypocrites. That's the only thing they had to hold on to. That's why they ain't like Yahawashi, because they was saying amongst themselves, what? If they believe on Yahawashi, then the Romans gonna come take basically their power. Right, see? Just like niggas in the world today. We call them coons now. All right? Coons, sellouts. Mainly a lot of these politicians of our people in acts of entertainment. See, they can't speak the truth. For real. Because then Esau come take their little money and fame and their little pseudo power. It's the same thing. Yahawashi was dealing with that. But see, we from above, we already know. Look, I'm going to start with brothers. We already know we got a chance at sitting at the table with Yahawashi. And, or just, period, just being the elect, man. Being those first fruits. These people out in the world, they don't have that. See? And that's why, that's a part of us taking the high road. You know what I'm saying? And not stooping down to these low petty people, man. They insignificant, for real. Everybody outside, they really insignificant. And not to be like that on a, like we just so haughty or whatever. But no, you got to think of yourself of being on another level, man. Like, I'm not about to stoop down to these people level. This is what we got to practice. This is what we got to live. And where do we get it from? We get it from Yahawashi, man. Yahawashi was like that. He ain't stooped down. That's why when Peter struck my man, he could have just left him with the ear off. But what he do? He healed it, because Yahawashi wasn't petty. Even though he knew they was coming against him, he still did a good work. You see what I'm saying? Now let's go back to Mark. I ended off at verse 62. Okay, because Yahawashi said, "What you gon' see me? All right, you gonna see me, the Son of Man, sitting on the right hand of power." Verse 63. Then the high priest rent his clothes and said, "What need we any further witnesses? Ye have heard the blasphemy. What think ye?" And they all condemned him to be guilty of death. And some began to spit on him, and to cover his face, and to buffet him, and to say unto him, "Prophesy." And the servants did strike him with the palms of their hands. See, so they was beating on him, spitting on him. Ain't no telling what else they was doing, man. All right. This is what Yahawashi had to go through. Mark 15, starting at verse 16. It says, "And the soldiers led him away into the hall called Praetorium, and they called together the whole band, and they clothed him with purple, and plaited a crown of thorns, and put it about his head, and began to salute him, 'Hail, King of the Jews!' And they smote him on the head with the reed, and did spit upon him, and bowing their knees worship him." Okay. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple from him, and put his own clothes on him, and led him out to crucify him. Look what this is what he had to go through, man. This is what Yahawashi had to go through. Somebody that could have easily just murked all of them. All right. And that's how we gotta be. You could easily, like, say somebody could do something petty to you, and you could easily do something to them that really could, you could probably beat them up or whatever. But nah, you take that low. You basically taking the high road. You know what I'm saying? And you keep it moving. Because that's just demons on them. If it ain't nothing directly harming you, your family, your children, something that's gonna put you in danger, you just like, man, I'm gonna brush it off, man. All right, I'm gonna just brush that off. This is the condition of the battle. And I know, brothers and sisters, we all go through it. We all go through dealing with these petty people in the world, man. And Lord willing, this is uplifting. All right, because I know that's one of the things in this walk, man. Okay. Let me get this and close out. This is the condition of the battle for us. But we got to pray for the strength to endure. All right, because you got things out here that could be financial problems. You can have body ailments, illnesses, things of that nature. Okay. You can have stress from being overworked. You tired. Things of that nature. You could be dealing with vices. But see, another thing is dealing with these petty ass people out here that the demons hop on. And we understand it's demons. Why? From the scriptures. That's what the scriptures tell us. Okay? Through the teachings of brothers. Demons hopping on these people. Because Yahawashi, he cured a lot of people with them demons, man. And then once that demon hopped off, they was back to basically quote unquote normal. So all the time when we see a person, they can look normal and act quote unquote normal, but then they get in that petty mode. You might notice like a person coming for you in some type of way. Yep, a demon hopped on them to do that. Cause you got that light. You could not even do nothing to them. You could be going about your merry way. And then here come, some irritant. Some insignificant. All right. Coming to try to, mess up your day. Well, that's a demon hopped on them. Cause they ain't, psycho babbling and talking to themselves on the street corner laid out somewhere or whatever. Or laid out somewhere. That don't mean that they ain't got a demon on them. Okay. So 2nd Ezra 7, and it says, 2nd Ezra 7 chapter, verse 6 says, "There is also another thing. A city is builded, and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left deep water. All right, and this is going into the kingdom of heaven, man. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Okay, so nobody can hold our hands in these things. All right, we can uplift brothers and sisters and things, but we got, at the end of the day, we are responsible for us. Okay. Verse 9, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Right. If we don't go through these tribulations, how can we get to the kingdom, man? When the scripture tell us through much tribulation, all right, we gonna get through the kingdom. All right, paraphrasing. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful, man. And this is what we got to endure, the travails of this life. And one of those travails is dealing with petty people, irritants, having to endure niggas. Not just niggas, but y'all know what I mean when I say niggas, man. We got to endure these niggas, man. These 2/3 niggas. And I know we the hopeful elect, but man, boy, you know. So I just wanted to put that out there. This lesson is going to be meant for who it's meant for, And if that's you, I'm going to pray for you, brother. Pray for you, sister, that you have the strength, the patience, to maneuver and to endure. So to the next lesson, shalom.